Welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw, but you may know me as @Shashaw.
And I'm your host, David Khourshid, also known as @DavidKPiano.
And together we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions.
Yep, and so we're going to be creating an animation from scratch live using HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript today. Or maybe not. We'll see.
Probably a little. Let's see. This show is made possible by your support, so get out there to patreon.com/keyframers and support us there. Links are available below, and you might even get some special shout-outs.
Yes, otherwise we don't eat. That's the rule. No Patreon, no meals. Yeah. And we're also happy to answer any questions you may have, such as why is our meal budget dependent on this show? So reach out in the Twitch chat or in the YouTube comments.
That's right. Well, how are you doing, David?
Good.
Over there?
I ate today. Did you eat?
A meager meal, yes.
Yeah. So I heard you got a new job.
That's true. I am a code janitor, I guess you could say. No, I am actually working for CodePen now, believe it or not.
What's that?
It's this little platform that's kind of a social networky codey thing. I don't know.
I guess that's the best way to describe it, really. It's a social network for coding.
Well, now that I work there, you know, it actually comes up in conversation with people who don't know anything about web or code. So I've kind of tried to figure out an elevator pitch for it, and just like a social network and tool set for web developers is the most succinct way I've been able to put it, that people at least nod politely and move on.
Yeah. I mean, it's an experimental playground too for many people.
Yeah.
It's also a scratch pad. I mean, there's many different ways you could approach what CodePen is. So, but hey, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Congrats on the new gig.
Yeah, it's been fun. Last week was my first week, and yeah, went well. Pushed out a few things that are live now that are subtle, but yeah, many more improvements to come.
Hey, it's always the tiny things, right?
Yes. Death by a million paper cuts, or
pretty much
life by a million tiny band-aids, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I won't mix my metaphors anymore, since you are probably having a little bit of trouble right now. Where are you at, David?
Oh, I'm in Prague. It's in Czechia, formerly known as the Czech Republic, and I'm here for Reactive Conf. If you don't know what Prague is, it's a beautiful city, most well known for its lack of T-Mobile service, which I'm learning the hard way.
Oh, yeah, that can be tough.
Yeah.
What are you out there for?
I'm out here for Reactive Conf, and I just gave a talk yesterday, so I'm all done, you know, spending long nights preparing for my talk, always finishing slides. And yeah, I actually just released a new version of XState.
Dang.
Yeah, so if you go on xstate.js.org,
yes,
I have a nice tiny little animation. Actually, that page was a joy to me because it was literally just HTML and CSS, and I'm like, that's all you need. Jeez, I don't need like a static site generator or anything crazy like that.
State.js.org. Okay, Chrome does not seem to be recognizing URLs, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I put in the Twitch chat. Yeah,
okay.
And I also, you know, speaking of state machines, I wrote a little bit about what we do on the Keyframers regarding transitions between states and how we do it using data attributes. And so that's the Medium article right there.
Nice. Man, you are just
so also some new docs, which this is very bare bones, but
just full of releases this week. That's awesome. Yeah, we talked about this article a little bit as you were putting it all together, and it's fantastic, and it definitely showcases a lot of the techniques we've been refining throughout the stream. So it's worth a look.
Right. So speaking of which, I think we're going to be using some of this in our animation that we're doing today.
I think so. Shall we dive right in?
Let's go for it.
All right. Let me get out of here. All right. So we're looking at Conversational UI by Gleb. Oop, nope, that's not right. Hold on. The name is right, but my link clicking was not. Conversational UI by Gleb.
Kustinov?
Yeah.
Kuznetsov.
We'll go with that.
Right. And Gleb, his animations are just top notch. If you look at his stuff on Dribble, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great elements here that are going to be really exciting to work with. So let's get this into GIF Scrubber and kind of take a slower look at things.
Yeah, so what I want to focus on is just each of the transitions between the two, and we see that like there's an overall, it's interesting. It's a little subtle, but there's two layers of transforms going on. There's the overall bigger transform on the x-axis, and then there's the, smaller transforms. It's sort of like, how the moon spins and the earth spins too, but the moon also spins around the earth, sort of thing.
Exactly like that.
I don't even know if that makes any sense, but yeah.
Yes. I see that. Hey, whoa! Adam Kuhn just pledged $5 via Patreon. That is awesome.
That's beautiful. Adam Kuhn is a wonderful, wonderful person.
Yes.
Wow. I only wear Lacoste says, how do these Dribble guys create the animation? So Dribble guys, Dribble girls, Dribble anyone, really. They use a variety of programs. Usually it's Adobe After Effects, which I'm not very good at. I've played around with it a little. It's definitely a learning curve, learning After Effects. They might also use software such as Principle, or some use Framer, some use Origami. I'm trying to think of the other one. Yeah, Principle is definitely a big one too. If you look at what's his name? Johnny. I know that's a really, really generic name, but he does a lot of great work on Dribble, and he uses Principle pretty exclusively. And yeah, but almost none of them really use CSS, believe it or not.
Yeah, so, in terms of rapid prototyping of animations, CSS is often not the quickest tool for most people.
Right, but it's very useful for when you actually want to bring your prototype into production.
Yes,
which is why we talk about it.
Indeed. Sorry for all those alerts. Apparently, our Patreon alert was just going wild there. So maybe if you contribute via Patreon, you'll get some loud alerts like that too.
Yeah.
All right.
Johnny Vino. There we go. That's his name.
Johnny Vino.
Johnny Vino.
Hey,
yes.
Thunder Nerds. Yes, this does look awesome. I am ready to dive in. How about you?
Let's do it.
All right. So we've done just the slightest bit of setup here, looking at just a really basic app kind of setup like we've done before, with these layers for the different states. However, you'll notice this kind of 4-quadrant setup. What I've done is for debugging and setup, we'll be able to see all of our states at once. Just by using grid template columns to give us a 2-column kind of layout there, filling width and height 100%. And then if we set a data state on here, like we often do, it'll just be one layer at a time. We'll get into the show hide of that eventually, but for now we'll be able to kind of debug all of our states.
Right, and remember that data state is going to contain what state, what we're showing. So there's 4 different, if you look at the animation, there's 4 different states. There's 2 list item sort of thingies. There's one typically called Tinder style card swipe sort of things. And then there's one just a nested card layout. So I think how we could tackle this is, let's start with doing the layouts first. Someone can take on the list items so that they're both the same style. And then someone can take on both the Tinder and the bigger card thing.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds good. Which do you care to work on, David?
I'll do the bigger card. Why not?
Okay, cool.
So the bigger cards.
All right.
And so I'll do those on blocks 3 and 4.
Yep.
Or do you already have it? Yep. Nope. All right. Let's get to it. And this is going to be really cool because it's sort of like a picture-in-picture. You're going to see both of them being developed at the same time.
A nice pip.
Yes. It's going to be great.
All right.
And so I see that Shaw is also using my my naming standard. It looks so beautiful. It's just
it does. One thing I wanted to do was share a few styles with UI card. So like background white.
Right.
We can do white, and then border radius. You know, like I don't know, rim, something like that. And let's see what else they share. Kind of a flexy layout, so why not do just display flex? We'll see if that even works for all of these, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. All right. So I guess the background is just pure white, and oh yeah, they also shared that box shadow. Let's say 0, should be a black 1. Something really underappreciated in SAS is I love how you could just specify a color in RGBA. Otherwise, you have to break it apart into its constituent red, green, blue parts.
Yeah, it's not too bad when you're doing black because it's just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But yeah,
There's
any other
border
color.
radius. My God.
Yeah, that can be toned down. It's fine. All right.
Oops.
So I'll get into styling my notification.
Put that down. Nip it in the bud.
Here.
Okay.
SAS be nice. That's right. Right. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right. This is one case where Emmet is helpful, but let's see.
It seems like Emmet has changed throughout the years, though. Whoa.
Sorry.
What happened?
Don't worry about it.
There. Oh, right.
Let's see.
Yay, specificity. See, specificity and moderation is useful because you're actually being specific about what you're dealing with, like UI card dash or dot dash notification, all of that stuff. So, let's see.
Let's see. Getting some.
Oh, geez.
Quite large.
Yeah, I wish you could say, height, fill it till, actually, maybe I'll just give it a viewport width and height. I don't know what it should be, though. Let's do... Yeah, good enough for me right now.
There it is. That's the surface we want. Okay.
And so I guess we're also using your grid 1-1 trick, which
yes.
Honestly scary. What was that sound?
Hey, Santiago McRib just cheered 100 bits for us, which is wonderful. Hey Santiago.
Cool.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Santiago. Appreciate it.
Let me. Oh man, that always messes with me. Image.
Someone's typing the HTML.
That's me. Hide this layer for now.
Right, yeah, I'm glad you have overflow scroll so I could actually see the other stuff too.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll call this swipe. Naming things is hard. Whatever. I'm just gonna call it swipe. So something I realized with naming things is that just choose a name. It really doesn't matter. At least for now. It's in the refactoring stage where you could best understand the full intentions of what you're working with and then change the name. Stuff like that. So I'm gonna try your grid trick on an individual. Well, actually no, I can't. Next, give it. Oh wait, yes I can. I'm gonna do like sort of a, it's not subgrid, but it's like a grid within a grid. I really hope this works.
Right. Let's see.
And good card swipe. Grid. So let's see what you do. Oh, grid area. That's it. Area. So what do they have you learning over in CodePen land?
Wow. Quite a bit. The code base is not small, as you might imagine. So right now there's been a lot of deep dives into the various different systems and tool sets used. I do not recommend generating unique 32-character variable names. That's a bit much.
Wait, who is suggesting that? 32-character variable names. Yes. You're gonna have problems though, if that starts with a number, and those generators usually do have, variable names that start with numbers, and yeah. So anyway, you want to prevent that.
Let's see.
Where are my things? I don't see my things anymore.
Sorry, I left an open div. Just ignore me.
Child. I was talking to someone at the conference about the fact that I still use Sass, and I do unashamedly, even in the age of styled components and everything like that, just because it's just still extremely useful, and I know that the Sass team is still working on it, which is fantastic. By the way. Okay, what the heck? Wait, it worked. Just kidding. Scale. Let's see. 1 minus times 0.1. Did that work? Origin bottom. There. And there's a CSS error. Is it my fault? It's probably my fault.
It's me.
Ah,
Don't worry about
you.
me.
There we go.
Man, need to be better about the. Oh, nice stack you got going on there.
Sort of.
Let's see.
C index 3 minus. Is it gonna work? Yes, it works. Cool. I have my whole stack thing. I still think those are a little small though, so we'll bump it up to 40. But yeah, the tough thing about these animations is that you always have to think ahead. So yeah, looking at these, actually no, I think we're good. We're good. Yeah, just thinking ahead, because if you apply a transform to them, you have to think about how will that transform change in a transition. Because right now I have them scaled, but I also have to keep in mind that they're also going to be sliding, you know, up and down. So maybe scale isn't the best choice. I don't know. It's fine.
For the animation.
Yeah. So you know, because the Tinder style card animation, it if you look at it, you see how they sort of spread out when they're going up. Oh yeah, so it does look 3D. You know what? I could just do that. Let's just do that. We're gonna make things simple and make it a 3D environment. So form style, preserve 3D. You know, after all these years, I still don't know what preserve 3D means. I just know you need it. It's sort of like cargo culting. You know, you just add it because you think you need it. I mean, you do need it, so it's not cargo culting. It's cargoing because you need it. I don't know.
All right. Content in there. Oh.
Let's see.
I do not get to choose the avatars. I'm sorry. I could, but I won't. It'll randomize.
I think they're great. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
All right.
The transform style preserve 3D. It's not working. Perspective, 1000 pixels. What am I missing? Oh wait, Oh.
It's a Brianish one. That's true. All right. Translate C.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why my things aren't translating correctly. I mean, I have my perspective and everything. 30 pixels. It's not really doing anything.
Okay, transform, translate Z. One. File, preserve 3D.
Like, that doesn't do anything either.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Because yeah, I think I have all my ritual stuff. Transform, style, preserve 3D. Transform, translate Z. Let's see. Yeah, it's a toughie. TN child. I mean, I have that right. And if we look at the actual styles over here, it's yeah, it's applying to each one. It's just this silly translate C. Like, what if I do like rotate X, 30 degrees? Does it actually? It looks like my my perspective is not getting applied to the. Oh, wait a minute! I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I put this on the wrong one. Okay, that's why. So it goes on this layered swipe.
Well, I think we need. I think we need that for all of them. For the,
okay,
the
well,
3D,
go ahead.
The 3D transforms we'll be doing in a bit.
Go for it. There we go.
Yeah.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and yeah, we could set the transform origin on the parent as well. So, let's see, transform origin bottom. See how that looks. Top. Oh wait, actually, I think, and I don't think we've used this property before, or maybe we have. Perspective origin.
Mm-hmm.
Have we?
I feel like we have, but that should probably go on this.
Ah, right.
Well, I guess that
maybe. I mean, the Tinder card thing is a little bit different.
Yeah. Perspective origin.
Make it really pop.
Should work.
We can make this like theorem or something just more poignant. I like your red lines.
Thanks. It's always helpful for debugging.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Well, yeah. Tinder card problem is a problem for future me. Let's go to the next one. The UI card. Okay, so doing the same to this UI large card, and then we have 2 notification cards inside. Though I don't see them.
What is it?
Display. Oh, I typed display, not display. It's too early in the morning. Although I'm wide awake, which is a problem right now.
That can be troublesome.
Yeah.
One from, yeah, I'm.
But if we have any European viewers, then kudos to you for bearing it with us. This early in the morning, late at night. I don't know. It's one of those fuzzy times.
This is when I wish I had studied up on grid more, or getting on the air. Yeah, when in doubt, wrap it. Where are you working?
I'm working the HTML right now.
Oh, as am I.
An often neglected part.
Yeah, who needs it?
$125. It's sort of hard to show everything right now since we have so much content going on.
Yeah.
You like the text? We're going to Amazon Echo. Do you have an Amazon Echo?
I do not.
No smart speakers or anything like that.
No, I'm not super freaked out by them or anything, but it's just don't really see the point. Are you a user of the Echo?
A user.
A host.
I am.
Of the Echo.
Or well, I have one. I don't know where it is, but it's there somewhere. It's in my house. I forgot where I put it. I just know that it responds to me.
That's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
It's.
So I guess that's one way of looking for it. I just don't really talk to it that much.
I forget the source, but it's very old. You know, some old IRC chat logs of, you know, IT people swapping stories, and one of the best ones is this IT guy that's called in because they lost a server, and he's like, okay, you know, can you ping it? You know, what is it offline? They're like, no, we physically cannot find the server. And they were able to ping it, like the server was working fine, but they could not find the physical hardware for it on their local network. So they, you know, eventually traced it to some cable that was just leading into a wall, and at some point they had built a wall in front of you know, whatever room was housing this server, and the server was working, so nobody really noticed, but as soon as it was having trouble, they couldn't locate it.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun stuff. All right, let's...
Sometimes.
Avatars are actually real.
You have quite the margin on these notification cards, and yes, I'm stealing the style.
The margin? What do you mean?
On your notification cards.
Oh, yeah, they don't specifically need that much, but
No, it's okay. It's okay. I will deal with it. I give it a tiny bit of margin. I think something in CodePen actually did change. Like, let's say that here, I'll show you over here. Like padding, let's say I do 100%, right? And I'm like, you know what? I want that to be calc instead. So I do calc, and I press the parentheses, and I immediately get the closing parentheses too. And I think that's new behavior.
I think that's been around for the JavaScript side. It might be recently updated for the CSS side. But
well, I'll write you a ticket, and you could get to work on that.
Please do.
Yes. Press it specifically to Shaw.
There we go. All right, Lacoste, I finally found you a male avatar.
Great.
All right. Moving on. And look.
All right, I think we're almost done with our styling stuff.
Down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, for the notifications, I'm just gonna copy these, shuffle the order. Section 2. Give me just a moment. Things are broken. Apologize. There we go. I am sorry, Lacoste, if you have a preference there on avatar. I am happy to oblige. I'm pulling all these from pravatar.cc.
Yeah.
And you may select one if you prefer.
Now, are we assuming your gender, or are you assuming the avatar's gender? Because, come on now.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway.
Yep. Hi. Getting some.
Perfect.
Jeez. That's
Ship
awesome. Why does it keep. Oh. I think I have insert selected. Do you ever do that on accident?
Do what?
Get insert. On like
maybe.
keyboard.
No. Maybe.
You got it, Lacoste. There you go. Oh, sorry, that's image equals 39.
All right, now to figure out this perspective origin sort of thing. So if I look at it like a 3D sort of thing, then the let's see, perspective origin center. Okay, just do center. There we go.
That works.
Except it's going the wrong way. But
yeah.
oh, you know what? Man, I could just do margin top I times -1 room. Aha! There we go. Now it's a little off, but it will look normal once we do it, not the 4-split view, but rather the you know, the one at a time sort of view.
Yeah. All right. Shall we start setting up our state machine?
Yeah. Let's go for it. It's my favorite part. I'll let you do it. See if you remember. We're testing you.
Equals, and then we'll do initial 1. States. Is that right?
Yeah, you're good so far.
1.
Yeah, that's what I like to do too. Just make objects for each one.
Yeah, I'm missing some commas there, but who needs them?
And so the reason that we do this instead of an array and doing the whole like, all right, keep track of the index and then, you know, figure out like all that is so that you could tweak the behavior. But I guess if you want to do the whole array, keep track of the array index, you could do that too.
Yeah. And then do you do events?
No, I just do on.
Oh, okay.
So just on because it's a lot easier to type.
Yeah.
On.
And then
do next, and then get the next one. So B4, and it's going to cycle back. So yeah. And now let's make this a little prettier.
Yeah.
Wonder what happens if we both do tidy.js at the same time. Oh well.
Awesome. Okay, next 3, 4. Okay. All right, and then let's target. Let's see.
I'll write the transition function. Stimming and push you down.
Yeah. const lapp equals selector lapp
dot if or dot on event. That's all. Whoa, functions, and we'll have a current states too. Let current equal what? lapp dot data set dot state, right?
Well, yeah, we can do that. Or
the
we
machine
can set
initial, that's right.
Right, we can set that. And is there a reason you use current out here instead of current here?
Where's here?
Right underneath your cursor.
Oh, because this machine should be pure. It should be, it's like a JSON object, right? We're not
pure
manipulating this, or like a JSON file. So this is like our definition, our schematics for the machine, right?
Yeah. All right. And
okay, that works. So lapp-state, yeah, that's perfect. And then so to send, we're just transitioning and updating that. Yeah. Right. And so we'll do this on. We'll say that for now, when we click the body, then we get the next one, or when we click the app, rather.
Yeah.
So lapp, and so basically we're just going to be sending next. And so when that happens, current equals transition. So we're transitioning the current state based on the event. And then we have to do a couple things. We also have to update the state equals current. Right, so let's try that. Nothing happens.
Right,
do I have an error? Console.log current. I mean, it is going back and forth. Oh, well, yeah, we didn't set the CSS for that.
Right.
I'm like, all right, so it should be working. Like, I've done this a million times. It should be working. It does. So I'm going to grab some code, like the code that I have in the Medium article that I sent over in the Twitch chat. I'm going to copy and paste the snippet of code that does the whole data show, data hide thing, instead of writing it from scratch. Now, given it's only all of, 5 lines of code, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's not very much code. So, and I'll put it over here. So what this code does in the JavaScript is basically all of the active elements, which of course are with data show, those get the data attribute of data active. Otherwise, they don't. So we could just, Am I making sense, or am I still jet lagged?
A little bit.
A little bit of both. Gotcha.
Right. So just toggling the data active attribute based on the data show, the data show attribute. So if data show matches the current data state, so data state equals 1, then data show will get data active on there as well. Whenever we transition to a new state, data active will be removed, and that will transition from there. Are you in the CSS or?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I am. So try to do that data active on the. But yeah, let's make sure that those are actually getting those attributes, which they should be, right?
Yeah, we probably need to send on the initial state.
Okay, yeah. Or actually,
right?
No, this should be separated into a function where, I don't know, it's called function. And so this is going to, let's see. So, oh, sorry. It's not state.value, just state. Yeah, so activate currents. So this should work, and then over here we could just activate currents as well, since we're already starting. All right, so this should work in theory. So we remove all of that, and then okay, it works.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right now I'm doing silly opacity stuff, so if we,
let's do that.
Yeah, cool. So now we're cycling back and forth between each one of these. So that's cool. And so we'll definitely explain that, you know, in the Keyflections.
Yes. All right, cool. So let's see. Shall we start animating?
Yeah, I think well, I think some of my animations are a little messed up, but or sorry, some of my layout is a little bit messed up. I don't know why though.
That's okay. All right, I'm starting to move all the animation down to the bottom here. Animate. Let's do transition, opacity 0.2 seconds linear, just for fun. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of my layouts need a little bit of love, or at least the one with the Amazon Echo hands-free speaker. I'm trying to figure out how you got to work so well with the notifications, but I'm struggle busing here with the yeah, I just want that to stretch, and I'm totally brain farting here, because that large thing should be
where are you?
So this is number 4.
Okay.
So data show 4. All right, yeah, because right now I have a fixed height and width, but ideally we should just make that as big as possible, like just the full width. However, I wanted to respect the padding, and so I'm thinking there has to be a property for that, where, you know, we could tell self to stretch or something like that.
Align self or justify self should be what you're looking for.
By self. I know there's a
remove the margin auto if that's the case.
All right, yeah.
Center, and then remove your width.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then the height. Well, that's sort of a tricky thing. Height. We'll just make this auto.
Sure.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't even need it.
All right. Oh, it's auto by default.
Yep.
I should have known that. All right.
Okay. So I've started our animation code down here. This actually might need to move up a little bit, but we'll see if it messes up your other state. Okay. Sure. Make sure that's okay. The state machine is working as expected. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Let me.
What state machines do? They work. They work well.
Oh. There we go.
Yeah, so one of the great things that state machines enable in this is that we could use, for the most part, just CSS transitions, really, because we're defining like this is a position in this state, and then this is a position in the next state, and just figure out all of the in-between. And so the more that we could tell the code, figure out all the in-between, the better, because we don't have to worry about it. So
I did 5 seconds instead of 0.5 seconds.
I mean, that's gonna... All right, let's animate. Let's go for it.
All right.
All right, so let's see, for the layer. I think you have to have some backface visibility sort of thing going on.
Yeah. It's also hidden. Part of it is there being a background color on layer. If we move that up to our app, then yeah, avoid that. Because the perspective is set on layer, that it was clipping through the background of it. All right,
Darn it.
got a real simple one going on. Staggering in a bit. Let's do translate y %. What did you break?
Everything. I fix it. I added a SAS mixin. It's a 3D mixin, but I realized that you cannot do.
We don't want it on app.
Yeah, we sort of do.
Do we?
Because the layer itself is going to rotate as well.
Well,
I guess we could say that for later.
yeah. Well, the issue is going to be the background color, so we may need additional.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
All right.
Yellow. Because I want to say when each layer is active. So data, or actually when it's not active. Oops, parentheses again. It's not active. It should rotate up. Let's see what happens if this, negative 45 degrees. Should be interesting. What'd you do?
Moved it down with the animation code at the bottom.
Oh, I thought you straight up deleted it. You're like, well, nope, this is not happening.
that is incorrect. So I've got, the opacity there. So let's move this up. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right, because of that background color.
Yeah.
If we potentially exclude that, let's see, and then.
So we want the next layer to be transform. Okay.
That should be after active, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Oops. I haven't had my coffee yet. Yeah, I'm not going to have it for another 5 hours.
After. And then remove that extra. There we go.
All right, so now we just need to oops. All right, so gotta active the layer. Yeah. Oh yeah. Otherwise, transform none. But we want the
opacity 0.
We do want the previous one to go backwards. which I think, yeah, that's what this should be doing.
Yeah,
right?
that should be correct.
But it's sort of not doing that.
Well, so right now we don't have the 3D transform on app because of the background issue. We also need just like a bit of
wait, so what's the background issue?
Because you are doing the 3D transform on or the perspective and transform style preserve 3D on app, when these items are rotating, they're clipping through the background.
Oh, okay, I got you. So
Rapid and Mega
we
app.
could solve that.
I like that. You just earned yourself a notification.
Anyway, one way we could do that is I'm trying to think how best this could work, but if you think about it in a 3D space, each one of these layers can actually come to the very front, like you're watching a really cheap IMAX 3D film where they're just right in front of you. So we could try it that way, right? Yeah. So translate Z. But the idea is that they should always speed translate Z, so that's what they're rotating on. Oh, this is going to get mind bending, especially this early in the morning.
Yeah. So when in doubt, wrap it.
Yep.
So I've got a wrap coming in here. This down to app wrapper, and do that, and then.
Well, all right. So we're getting our rotation. It's just going a little bit crazy right now.
Yeah.
Which probably means I have my rotation going the wrong way. I have to think. Rule of thumb. Man. All right. So maybe it should be rotating the other way. 5 degrees.
I had some rotations on the UI cards there that might help for reference.
Yeah, because here's how I'm envisioning this. If you think about this as a big cylinder, where each of these layers is glued onto the cylinder, and we're rotating the actual cylinder, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which means that we have to play around with the transform origin. And yeah. So we need to okay, yeah, I got it. We need to translate Z first, and then rotate.
There it is. Sorry.
So that sort of works. Not really. Oh, well, translate Z needs to be on every single one of them. So transform. Fix. So we have to there. And also, yeah, that's fine for now. Or not.
Actually, we want to translate it out from the rotation, because we want it rotating around the center and then translating out and rotating like that. So it's like it's pivoting around the.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that gives a little more dramatic of a.
All right, so now we have to figure out why some of them are coming from the top.
Well,
so
you took off the negative on one. Yeah, there we go. And part of the issue is we're looping back around to the start, so the adjacent sibling selector doesn't quite work in that instance.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, we'd have to look at that. And then this.
Oh, so what we could do with the app wrapper now is, because we're translating Z 200 pixels, we could translate Z the app wrapper negative 200 pixels or something like that, right?
Yeah, something around there.
Oh man, we're literally doing matrix math. I mean, that's technically what all this is.
Somewhat unrelated question, but why do so many transforms make text look blurry in Chrome/Blink? This has actually gotten a ton better in recent browser versions, but this was a serious issue when transforms were first released. Basically what's happening, anytime you do a transform, a 3D transform, it's taking that layer, basically making a picture of it, shuffling it off to the GPU, and then applying all your crazy transform matrix movements, and then shuffling it back to the screen. So if you take that snapshot at a size like this, and then your crazy transform matrix ends up making it this big, well, it's enhancing that size on the GPU, so it's just scaling that up, so it's going to be a little bit blurry. More recent versions of browsers help with that a ton, but it's still often an issue. Let's see. So back to this. Yeah, I don't know what your actual mixing it. Okay, you've got 1,000 pixels.
Oh, are we doing math based on the perspective origin?
Yeah, that's
so then that's going to be scaled 0.2. This is probably very
0.8, I think. Right, yeah. 0.8 is what we want. That's pretty good.
Why is the app background so off though? Or at least it is on mine.
Actually, you know what? We don't need this. We don't need this.
Oh, are you going to change the actual perspective, or not the perspective origin, or maybe the transform origin? Right, because
origin,
you could
center negative 200 pixels.
Okay, yeah. Little known fact, you could do transform origin in 3D. That simplifies a lot of things.
Aha, there we are.
They're beautiful. Cool, so now we could start applying our... but yeah, weirdly enough, we're not getting that inward rotation.
We are?
It just seems to be zooming in.
It's doing it.
Oh, wait, yeah. Sorry, now it's there.
Yeah,
but for me, the background is still off.
What background? That is,
but I'll figure that out.
Okay, so yeah, we got some pretty significant rotation happening. I'm gonna go ahead and add overflow hidden on our app. And that'll solve our scroll bars there. All right, and then we can do the same thing with UI card here.
Yeah, that's weird. If you open up your console or change the height of the app, then it sort of, the layout gets a little bit off.
It's okay here, but I don't imagine.
No, I mean vertically.
Vertically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky to do when I'm running full screen, but there we go. Yeah, I think. What is that? Does that have to do with app wrapper?
Not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, it might be one of the layers is just too big. Let's see, it might be the notifications being too big. Let me move that overflow hidden onto app wrapper. And So perspective origin can be center bottom if it needs to be. Right now, center. Oh, we actually don't need that in there because that's the default. Let's see. So app wrapper layer. We want to say max width 100%, max height 100%. Overflow hidden. There we go. That's all it was. So my notifications layer is just a little too tall. So that was forcing it out of the container, and all of the layers were adhering to that because of that beautiful display grid trick. All right, so we've got that basic movement.
Which is great.
Yeah, and the layers themselves are also transforming. So we need to factor that in as well. So let's do UI card, transform, and we'll do those an additional 45 degrees. So they should be starting at 90 degrees. And then here there'll be an additional negative 45 degrees. Might want to tone down the perspective origin on those a little bit. And let's see. Let's move this up.
Yeah, I'm working on the Tinder, the swipe. So let's see, they start. All right. I wish, man, this one feature of CSS would make things so much easier if you actually had the ability to combine transforms. Like I want to do independent transforms where I could just manipulate, translate, or manipulate rotate, but I don't have to do it all in the same property.
Well,
that's an unfortunate limitation.
Doesn't Chrome support that with X?
It does, but I'm not going to try to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's standard with Chrome. I think it's just an experiment that they sort of ran with, and they're like, here you go, have fun with it, even though no other browser supports it.
Yeah, well, we can always use CSS variables if you're into that. I suspect you might be.
Nah. I think there's another way to figure this out.
Okay, I'm going to slow the transition down.
Yeah, good plan. All right, so
there we go. So you can see that a little bit. UI card. So let's save this. None. That might be breaking something. So with our layers, we don't want that border anymore. So we don't need that. Okay, you already have that there. So the outro animation seems to be working really well, but the intro animation does not seem to be animating the cards quite properly. At least it doesn't feel that way. Oh, you're removing large swaths of code up there.
Oh, yeah, there's... That's low.
Yeah. Let's see if I can... Whoa. But you see what I mean about the intro animation not really doing anything? Let me make sure. Hard rotate X. That all looks spelled correctly. That's always the major thing to check.
The intro for which one?
So just any of them. The main state of it does not appear to be sliding in like it does when you're going out. Primarily the notification ones is what I'm looking at, because I know you're tweaking the other ones. But like on the outro, it's a really dramatic effect, but on the intro, it is not. I cannot figure out why.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Because I'm sort of facing the same problem with the swipe card notifications, where on entering it feels like nothing's happening. Is that what you mean? And then on exit, it's great.
Right.
Yeah.
So data active. Jason's electrolyte. Hey, thanks for following. Just make it more dramatic. Let's see.
Do we need, you know what? Do we need a transition delay when it's active? We might. I feel like we might. So
let's do transition delay here.
Of like,
let's see.
Well, yeah, base it on the CSS variable. Or do you have a CSS variable for the duration?
No, not at the moment.
That's irresponsible. All right, yeah, see? So now, now it's good. Now it's real good. And so the reason why is because for most of the life cycle of it animating in, the cards are out of view. So most of their animation is going to be out of view. But if we have that transition delay, then
yeah, that's true. I did make their animation shorter than the parent animation, so that was part of it. So yeah, let's do those both together. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can set a variable up here.
All right, I need to get rid of these notification things.
Hey, no, I spent a long time on those.
No, just on the because I was trying to reuse it for the large card. You know what? Maybe I'll add them back in. Yeah.
Now the outro animation does not feel as strong. Maybe they
just give it a negative transition delay so that it transitions right before the user actually does anything. So it tells the future.
I don't think that works.
No? Dude. All these cards get their own GPU layers.
Yeah, gotta.
Whoa, what happened there?
Just doing some transition delay. That's not quite what we want. This one, maybe transition delay. That's way more what we want. And then these can be 0.75. Do that. It's feeling about right.
Yeah.
This can be
see. So for the large one, whoa. Oops. It's looking good so far. Although now I'm realizing that I should really be putting content on the swipe cards. So I'm gonna do some HTML work real quick for that. Ooh, these sound like really fun activities. Hot air ballooning, aerobatics. All right.
That's starting to feel really nice. All right, are you doing any kind of staggering there? What are you?
No staggering. You could add staggering if you want.
Yes, I think I will. This is a great case for CSS variables.
Yes, always, always.
I like to just add them in line there to get the index of it instead of doing a nth child loop. This just makes it so much cleaner. And then, hey, it's a progressive enhancement.
There you go.
Let's see. This we could do. Yeah, the transition delay there. Calc. Point. 5 seconds times 4 pi plus that.
Man, what's great about the state approach is I could work on a completely different state than you, and it's not going to be affected. Thankfully, CodePen is smart enough to not really change your CS or the preview if nothing is really changed directly. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's pretty good about that unless your CSS gets too complex, and then at a certain point, it has to just reload the whole time because of the pre-processing that happens. That actually seems to be a lot better as of late.
You fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. In the future, we should really do just like this grid heavy thing, just because I really need to like spruce up my grid skills.
Yes, I think we both committed to learning that more, but let's see, that is not working like I wanted.
What's happening?
Just working on the staggering. Kind of working. I think it helps if you don't have errors in your code.
Let's see, 40. Oh, great. Why is it off center? Margin. Man, case of the mystery margin. It's always fun trying to discover why. Oh, yeah, you have a margin on these cards. All right, well, I'll just get rid of it. Margin 0. Ah, yes. Shoot, I was inspecting something. I accidentally clicked the body, and everything's gone.
Oops.
The joy of state machines.
Yeah. Let's see. Got that going there.
And you know what's really powerful? Align self. That's something that I really need to dig into, just because within the grid column, I could say align self, self end, and it's going to, just stick to the bottom, which, yeah, it's pretty nice. Funny enough, in a personal project that I'm doing, I'm using M's just because it makes sense. I feel dirty, but it works well.
It's really a wonderful utility, or unit, I should say, that more people should be on board with.
I don't know, man. All right, so there's align self-center, but is there justify self-end? Yeah, there is. Beautiful. All right. You're getting somewhere. Oh, nice gradients. I feel like Bob Ross here. Background image, linear gradients. No, I've never taken the time to appreciate the syntax for linear gradients. I know with radial gradient, it's such a pain in the ass, but linear gradient, you visualize it in your mind. You're like, okay, I wanted to go to, like, let's say to the bottom right. You literally type to bottom right, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It is. It is. Ooh, very nice.
I made it ugly.
Some color in there for us.
Linear gradient. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could set it based on degrees, but this get a bit tricky because you don't exactly know where those degrees start. But yeah, I could say like 30% and then have it be, oops, or 30 degrees. Percentage is not a degree. Oops. This is the secret to my stuff. It's like people are like, wow, how do you know all of those exact like measurements and the right degree to apply? I don't. I really don't. I play around with numbers until it feels right.
That is the secret to web development.
Yeah.
Development in general.
Now, I remember one time, there was a lot of discussion on this. It's that linear gradient is that it's linear. And it would be cool to have gradients which are based on some sort of easing, because you could see, especially in this linear gradient, there's just a hard, sort of a hard but fuzzy stop between color and no color, and it's not really that smooth, and that's because of the linear nature of that gradient.
Yeah. Isn't there a proposal out there for fixing that?
Something like that, I believe. Well, anyway, that's good enough for me. So.
I think it's getting pretty close here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oop. There we go. All right, let me see. Yeah, I'd love to fix that looping issue, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, the looping issue. There are some yucky ways to do it.
Yeah, around line 200, I tried, but did not.
Where?
Work.
Yeah. I was talking about like really disgusting ways. And since we only have 3 viewers, maybe we could do these disgusting ways. What I was thinking is we literally, never mind, such a terrible idea, but we change the position of it in the HTML.
It's
like
very
just in real time.
Actually, it's very close. If I just had it at the wrong area. Data state equals 1.
Oh, you managed to get it?
And data show equals 4. Yeah, this is. And last child. Could do that. First child. I'm sure the hard-coded numbers are not great, but that should get the job done. Not quite. I think we have to copy this or and this child. Will that do it? Up the specificity there. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Uh-oh. Lacoste is listening. I love your Amazon Echo. It's beautiful.
See, it's pure CSS art. An artist.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Actually, it's supposed to be white.
Oh,
and we could do sort of that. I don't know. Oh, now you can't see it at all. Gotta go around. Where's my Alexa? Maybe the ugliest Alexa ever. There it is.
That's what I want.
Oh, it's not background image, it's background image.
Space.
Oh wow, that looks terrible.
Line content, yeah, space around. Space evenly, space center. There we go. That's what I need. There we go. Are the echoes really white like that?
Nah, they're black and stuff. I don't know why. And honestly, I'm having fun with this. Oops.
Oh, David.
Top. And man, how do you get that pattern?
What? Oh, the kind of dotted pattern. You could do it with just order dotted. Oh, wait, you're up here. There you go.
Oh, you know what? I found a way. This is pretty interesting. Oh man, let's try this. So, whoa. All right, did I mess up the CSS somewhere?
I think I did.
Yeah, wasn't me.
What did I do? CSS looks correct. Yeah, it's something you did.
What? All right, hold on. No? It was you.
Where?
I don't know.
Okay, is it working now?
Here, let's Control Z until things work.
I think it's working now. And let's see.
All right, yeah, this should work. So background size dot space, position absolute, height 40. That makes no sense. It has to be 40%. Width 100%. Left 0. And well, those dot spaces are off a little bit. 2 pixels. Dot size should be 1 pixel.
That's what you're doing.
There we go. Oh man, I'm excited. 2 pixels. 2 pixels. Wow, that is a cool little technique over there.
Can you give it
and what we could also do is mix blend mode. I don't know, multiply or something.
Don't you want that on the before?
On the what?
On the before, or?
So it should be on the parents, right? Yeah. So the parent is what determines, you know, I don't know.
Well, it'd be
it's one of those.
Blend mode.
I think it's mixed blend mode.
Well, for this is a background, so it has to be background blend mode. I don't know. You could also just do opacity 0.5.
This is white, Alexa.
Oh. There we go. All right. I think.
Yeah, looks fine.
Yeah, I think we should start wrapping this one up here. All right, let me do one more tweak, and then we'll wrap, I promise. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Okay. Hey, David.
Hey.
Do you know what time it is?
You're asking the wrong person. But anyway, what time is it?
It is time for Keyflections, and I got the animation working again, so huzzah. Now is the portion of the show known as Keyflections. Quick review of the techniques used to build this animation. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask in the chat or hit us up in the YouTube comments, and we'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed watching us so far, because you definitely did, you can follow and subscribe here on Twitch or YouTube, or pledge at patreon.com/keyframers. Links below. Check us out.
Awesome. So let's go back to where it all began, David. Conversational UI by Gleb. This is a beautiful dribble of some different kind of app animation or app states with really nice transitions between. So we broke that down a little bit and built out our app. So we've got our app with an app wrapper, and then layers for each of these states. That should be a section. Sure. There we go. And then from there, we created our UI cards. All of these share the few similarities, so we grouped all of them in the UI card class, and went from there. So with our state transitions, we built a simple state machine. We've done this in many episodes, so you can go back and see exactly how we've done it multiple times. We'll dive a little bit deeper, and David has written a Medium article on it that is quite awesome. I'll show you the layers in just a moment, Lacoste. So our machine with our states here, whenever the app is clicked, we just transition to the next one. And whenever it's transitioning to the next state, it is removing the data active attribute and setting the data attribute active attribute only on the ones with the proper data show attribute. So up here, this will be something like data state equals 1 from the JavaScript, and then that will be data show equals 1. That one will become the data active. So going into the layering, let's go back up to app wrapper. We needed a wrap for the 3D effects that we'll cover in just a moment. We did that with, we did the layering with display grid and grid template 1/1, 1/1. This basically gives you one column and one row, and then each layer is set to cover that grid area of 1/1, so that the layers are all stacked up on top of each other. If we remove the layer opacity here, or set the layer opacity lower, and then remove some of this other stuff, you can see how they stack on top of each other. And then that's not actually what we want for this effect, though. We do want them stacked on top of each other, but that's what we'll do for now. So let's see. Anything interesting in the UI cards you'd like to cover, David?
So one thing that was asked was the layer stacking.
Yeah, I just covered that.
Oh, okay. Shows how awake I am right now. Yeah, so one thing to keep in mind with the cards is just planning ahead, seeing, oh, wait, wow. Never mind, I just noticed a little glitch. But anyway, just all of the transform origin and making it prepped for 3D. So just remembering to do that.
Yes. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about 3D transforms, because this is one thing that can really trip you up, especially if you're unfamiliar with CSS 3D. So in order to get any kind of 3D effects, you need a perspective, and then if you have multiple layers doing perspective or 3D based transforms and you want them all to work together, you need transform style preserve 3D, and that needs to be on the parent and the child. Actually, transform style may not need to be on the parent, but it definitely needs to be on the child so that the parent's 3D transform carries through. So that's why we did the app wrapper, because if you're doing a 3D transform on a child of an element with a background, that element will clip through the parent's background, So we left our background on the main app and then used app wrapper to be our 3D wrapper. And then each layer is also getting those 3D styles here with that sass. And then, oh, are we not doing that on UI card too?
Which one?
The transform style.
Oh, I guess we forgot.
Let's see how that affects things. Maybe we're doing that elsewhere.
Yeah.
Either way. Okay, so let's see. So then with our 3D transforms, we'll go down here to the animations. So for the non-active layers, we have them rotated X 45 degrees. Now this is rotating it along the X-axis, which means it's actually rotating like this. So it's using the X-axis as the bar that it rotates around, and that gives us that kind of vertical swoop. And we increase the dramatic effect of that by using a 3D transform origin. Transform origin, you typically do, you know, top, bottom, center, left, all of those. You can actually plug in a third attribute there that is the 3D transform origin. So we set that to -500 pixels so that the 3D transform origin is actually way back here. And then when we're rotating X, it's actually like it's going kind of around a roulette wheel style effect. And then we did a similar thing with the UI cards, but they don't have as dramatic of a transform. There, right. We could bump it up if we wanted and see some of the effects there. It's quite nicely. All right, and we've done this trick quite a few times before, but basically targeting layers and different items based on the active one. So if the layers are not active, they receive the translated up state. If they are after the active layer using this adjacent children selector, then they are rotated down on the x-axis. And then when they're set to data active, all those transforms are nullified so that it slides into the state that it's meant to be in. And we did kind of a staggering effect on the notification ones. I really just increased the amount of transform happening based on the index of the child using that CSS variable and calc there. That's set up in the HTML here. Cool. Anything else you'd like to mention as you tweet?
No, I think that's it. Doing some last minute ask for forgiveness stuff later. Yeah, there we go. Having sort of a area for the keyboard.
Oh. Sure.
Well, actually, it doesn't really look that good, so we're going to get rid of it. It's just a white blob doing nothing. But yeah, that's it's basically it in a nutshell. So, like Shaw said, 2 rotations happening at the same time, basically, with the cards. Yeah, and so we looked at previous episodes where those layered transformations really make a really cool effect. So it's what we encourage you to experiment with.
Yes. Awesome. Well, shall we bring it to a close so you can get some sleep there, David?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Well, you have been watching Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to see more from David and I, there are many ways you can support us. The primary one being at patreon.com/keyframers. You can pledge to support us each month, and that goes a long way for us. You can also like and subscribe at youtube.com/keyframers, where we'll have we'll have this video and other episodes up there as well. And you can tweet at us and spread the word at twitter.com/keyframers. And we also have a website, keyframe.rs.
Yeah, and we do accept submissions for future episodes, so tweet at Keyframers with any animations you'd like to see made. And so you could also present questions or challenges to us that we will answer on the air.
We do. Be sure to share this video and demo across all your social platforms. Get the word out, and let us know more of what you want to see. That's all we've got for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, adios, amigos.
Adios.